All right, welcome back to Holonet Weekly, your go-to source for all your competitive Star Wars Unlimited news. This is J-Rod.
And I'm Balls.
And this is a special episode because we just wrapped Season 1, crowning our new Galactic Champion.
All right, with the Galactic Championship this past weekend, obviously a ton of news came for the next sets. I am still currently in Las Vegas in a hotel room, so my audio and video may be a little bit different than it was last week. But what we're going to do here for the next segment is take a look at what's coming up for the next half of the year and into 2027. All right, so with this next set, we're probably going to see a big difference in how deck building happens. I'm not a great deck builder. I'm more of a net decker myself, and I could make a little tweaks. But what it seems like what's coming with Homeworld is the focus on the planets and synergies, tribal synergies, right? So think like creature decks, think whatever the Kashyyyk Homeworld decks, the Wookiee synergies, all the things that were spoiled. And on top of that, we're also going to see some new mechanics for Homeworld, which is the Fortify mechanic. The Fortify mechanic will let you play upgrades on your base. So I wonder how the upgrade hate cards that we're going to have affect that. I guess will soon to be determined once they push out the new rules.
Right. Yeah, I know we're all kind of getting tired of that Outer Rim Outlaw.
It's the Constable.
Constable, sorry.
Outer Constable.
Yeah. We're also going to get weakness upgrades, right? These are essentially the anti-experience token. You get a -1/-1 that sticks permanently onto your unit. And then also, for all of our Kanan Leader enjoyers, we're also getting new creature tokens, which are going to have the 3/3 stat line.
Yeah, so not the other things that were announced during the event was the next set 9, and the timelines, right? So we don't have official dates on the next sets, but we do know what they are. So the first set of the new year will be Legacy of Skywalker, followed right shortly after, probably a couple of 12 weeks, I think is the timeline that they do. System Overload, which seems to be more of a droid-based set, by how it sounds. And then after that, actually System Overload is going to be Galactic's legal. So
Okay.
if history holds true, it's probably going to come out a week or two before Galactic's, and Galactic's will be the first time you could see those in competitive play.
Right.
After that, they're bringing back icons, and it will be, it's not going to be around the Christmas time, so it'll probably be sometime in the fall. And then the final set before the new year will be Galaxy at War. So we don't have official dates, but it seems like February would be the launch date for, assumed launch date, February, maybe March, but probably February for Legacy. And then every 12 weeks thereafter, a new set.
Right. We'll look at probably a February, May, August, November kind of timeline for those set releases. I did see, or I read somewhere that someone said that Outlaw System Overload will be released and be, like you said, be in Galactics, right? So I'm assuming probably beginning of March, give us at least a week or two going into Galactics. May, sorry. Yeah, going into Galactic. So, we have some time to mess with that.
But they do that every year. Like last
Yeah, I
year
mean,
with
there's
was it
other
like
card games too that will like release new sets going into the World
it's just
Championship.
a mad scramble. It's a
Yep.
mad scramble to get cards and boxes and
I
get
mean,
everything.
I get it because you don't. I guess maybe it's more exciting to have go into your biggest tournament of the year and not have the meta figured out. Um, no, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but we kind of had an idea of what we were going to expect going into this Galactics. Let me do this. So if you happen to miss it at the end of the Galactic Championship, we actually got the date and location of next year's Galactus, which is going to be at the Disneyland Hotel in Anaheim, California, May 21st and 23rd. And it's pretty big because going into next year, 2027, is actually the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. So in Disney World, 50th anniversary Star Wars. I don't think you're going to want to miss this one.
Disneyland. I mean, there's
Disneyland. Yeah.
Disneyland. Disney World's in Florida, so
Yeah.
a Disneyland resort in California. I think what will be interesting. I know some other reasons that people that speculate. Actually, Wes C Raptor was saying that they're probably going to move it earlier. He told me that before, so he'll probably take all that credit, right? But he said that the reason they're also potentially moving it earlier is because Galactics has for the past 2 years conflicted with Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. They got Gen Con a week later. So there's all these other things that staff needs to go for and to promote the game.
Right.
So if they make this earlier, it probably makes it better for their summer travel to all these different conventions.
Right. I mean, I know personally people who that chose to go to Gen Con and chooses Gen Con every year over going to the going to Galactics.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. but I think the other interesting thing too is that this is going to be, at least for like down south, right? Northeast is different, but down south in the Texas area, school, that's the last weekend before the last week of school.
Right.
So, usually I bring my whole family to Vegas. Yeah. Right. It would be great to bring them all to Disneyland, but I don't know if we could pull them out on the last week. I mean, you really don't do shit on the last week of school anyway.
Yeah.
But then the older one's graduating. So if her graduation falls on that date, I guess I'm missing the graduation because I'll be at
yeah.
Oh yeah, Disneyland. But yeah, I think that's all we got for the actual news announcements. Let's dive into our weekend winners. All right, the weekend winners. First off, let's congratulate our newly crowned Galactic Champion, James, piloting the Cad Bane Vigilance, and proving that it's still faster than the Boba Lake Country, right?
Oh yeah, still faster than you.
So that was awesome. He took it down. I haven't had a chance to meet him, but hopefully we'll meet him soon enough. He did get to play against Cody, who was on Boba Fett Lake Country. And it was actually interesting because while we were there, I was talking to some people and be like, oh, how cool would it be if somebody from the LCQ won the Galactics?
Yep.
We didn't even know that the guy numbered at that point heading to this second place victory was from the LCQ. I think that's fucking wild.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because he said it himself on stream that he just it was just the last deck he played pretty much. So he just took it, added the 5-cost ship and then
the new one,
yeah.
Really? I didn't get it. I was at the event. I didn't get a chance to really watch the streams. So I have no clue what was commentated on or any interviews that happened or any of that. And I still haven't had a chance because I'm still in Vegas.
Yep. Well, that was our main event, right? Obviously most important, but it wasn't the only competitive event that was going on this past weekend because we had 2 Eternal Opens as well as 1 Premier Open. So we'll look at Philip, who was actually on the Twin Suns Anakin data vault deck And Philip is Benton was our Galactic Champion winner last year. And then the other one was actually kind of a throwback, our throwback to Iden, set one Iden, playing a control, very, very control version of that. And that was Carson Carsuo, who won on that. Caruso? Hey, I'm not good with names. And then lastly, we had Simon Harvey playing the new Ashes of the Empire Mandalorian, winning the Premier Open.
Awesome. Yeah, congrats to all of the winners and anybody who topped those. Like those events, they're long days and it's fierce competition, right? I didn't do too well on the LCQ. I came 4-2 and then I dropped, and then I did even worse on the Open. So I just went and did side events. But no, there was a lot of interesting decks and a lot of people earning points for next year's through the Opens that they had, right? So Eric from local, I think has like 400 something points. He topped somewhere near the top of
top 4.
The Galactic Open, top 4.
Yeah,
amazing, right? Yep. So yeah, people are already building up their points and or qualifying for next year's event already. Yep. So that's pretty cool. But now that we took a look at who won, let's dive into our meta snapshot. All right, so if we wanted to sum up the meta in one phrase, Dark Helmet said it best. Play the clip there, J-Rod.
Yeah. Now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb.
Yeah.
And I am actually wearing the villainous hat from the that they were selling at the FFG store, on the Star Wars Unlimited store at the event. But yeah, we're gonna pop up the leaders on the screen who played in the Open. I think I had sent you a screenshot of this during the Open, right? The leaders who are in the top. I took Darth Vader, and so did, I can't really see, 146 other people took Darth Vader to the Open, followed by Boba Lake, and then we had Cad Blue, Ahsoka, Luke, Datavault. Grief was another one I was also considering playing, but I didn't. Director Krennic, I actually lost twice to Director Krennic, in both, once in the LCQ and then once in the Open.
Yeah.
It's a solid deck. Ezra was also there. I did lose to an Ezra as well. took a lot of beatings this weekend. Aura Singh, I didn't happen to run into any Aura Singhs. And then I think on the stream, I did catch some of the stream in the VIP lounge. There was like a mirror match with Luke's or something. Two Luke Skywalker, the new Luke Skywalkers.
That was the first match of the Open. 2 Luke Datavaults, and it was as horrible as you would imagine.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch it. I just saw it on the screen.
Yeah, I think when you look at the leaders that are on, that we see here, at least in the Open, I mean, something to keep in mind, like because it's a little bit different than you'll see when we get into day 1 of the main event, is that the last chance qualifier is like the margin for error is very small. You can only tie and lose one time, right? So I think you don't want to get stuck playing, these long 55-minute rounds, especially when you have to do 8 rounds. I think it was.
You gotta be X
21
and 1
points. So yeah, 8 rounds. Right. So you go pick something that's fast, like a Darth Vader or Ahsoka, and you either win fast or lose fast.
Yeah. What's that quote from what was that movie?
About Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
If you ain't first, you're last.
You ain't first, you're last, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Good thinking back on what we were calling last week. I don't think it was really a surprise.
No.
There wasn't. One thing, actually, before we get into the next section of this, and we'll probably get to talk more about it on the main event side, but I did not see, and maybe you saw something different because you were able to watching the stream. I did not see like a surprise deck, like maybe the Lando one, which we'll get to. But
maybe not one that did well, I should say. Right. So
Yeah, like
we'll
last
yeah.
year was like Kylo Tarkentown, right? Or Kylo Tarkentown. And then like shortly after that, in one of the sectors or the regional, I think a sector regional, it was Lando Lake,
Mhm.
but nothing that just popped from any of the teams that are out there, right?
Right. As we see, if we move into the main event, day one, right? And we again mentioned it last week, but the top leader being Cad Bane Blue, right? And then we see plenty of other red villainy decks. I mean, and a lot of that being the addition of the Pre-Vizsla and Chimera legendary cards. They're just like are absolutely nuts, right? And that was kind of something FFG switched with going into set 7 and 8 and 9, that they wanted legendaries to actually feel like legendary cards, right? We're not looking for those 20-cent legendary cards that we were getting in Twilight.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that leads into day two of the main event, right? So not too different. A lot
Mhm.
of villainous leaders. I think for the most part, the only heroism leader was Ahsoka and Luke, right? Everyone
Right.
else, villainous leaders.
Right.
But Cad solidified his position at the top, right? Cad ended up taking it down. Vader was there. Actually, there was two Vaders in the top eight, I believe, right? Two Vaders that made it to the top eight, or was it just one?
Yeah. So if we can move then now and look at what the top 8 looked like. We had the only hero deck was Lando Blue, and then the rest were all villain, and there was a handful of Cad Banes as well as Vaders in that top 8.
Yeah. So, what do you think we're gonna see in the next set of PQs coming shortly after? A lot more Cad, or ways for people to combat Cad? There's always the type, the ones that are gonna play the top meta deck regardless, and the ones that are stubborn and will just be like, I need to find a way to beat that deck.
Yeah, so going into the PQ season, obviously Cad Bane is going to be a staple, right? Not until which FFG doesn't ban or restrict anything really. It's just going to be a mainstay probably until the next set. You had mentioned like there was no surprise decks, right? No good like surprise decks. If you were watching the stream, there was a Tobias that was doing decent. And I'd have to. They have the official. If you go to the socials for FFG, the full breakdown of every leader that made day two. And I'm pretty sure that Tobias made it, but there was also a Vayne deck that I thought was pretty cool that we saw on stream.
What is the Vane's leader ability again? It's something that I look at and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do
Defeat
that.
a friendly upgrade and do 2 damage to the base.
Got it. Oh, so it's
Right,
kind of like the Han one, right? Where you can defeat an upgrade to do something.
right to do a damage. But it was cool.
Yeah.
Like they got some new upgrades. Like there was the +1 +2, I think, exhaust a unit, or +2 -1 exhaust a unit. So it's pretty neat to like he can put that down, exhaust a unit, and then on his attack, go defeat that. And then there was also the upgrade from last set, the red yellow villainy upgrade that doesn't let your unit ready, and you take 2 damage to your base.
Yeah, that's
Right.
a
So you
beast card.
throw you
I forgot
throw
that. Yeah.
you throw that out there. You let that damage just keep ticking up, and then whenever you need a lethal, you attack in, and then you defeat that upgrade.
Yeah, and there's really like very little ways to deal with it when it's on your unit, right? Unless
Yep.
you outer rim constable it, or
Right.
if you're playing against for example, I was playing against a blue villainous deck, and I put a Galen. I was playing Vader, right? So I put Galen on their side, and the only way they could deal with it was to no glory it, right? They
Right.
have to spend a bunch of resources to get rid of something like that.
I think too. You'll
Um,
see Thrawn. Right. Anyone that can play Pre-Vizsla and Chimera
yeah,
is going to be a good deck. There was a lot of cool Thrawn decks that were running around, and going into the PQ season. Even though Cad Bane is really good, I don't think there's not that like Django level of deck
yeah,
power level, right? So as long as you good and your play clean, right? You got a little bit of luck. I mean, there's a lot of decks that will go win a PQ.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out over the next few weeks at PQs. I mean, there's a lot coming up. I think we're going to show them here in a little bit, but yeah, we'll definitely be diving into that. But yeah, three days of top tier games this weekend.
Yep.
Anything else you want to talk about in the meta there, J-Rod?
I think that's it. You know, we had, you mentioned, we had the 3 days of great gameplay this week and this weekend. And so what we're going to take a look at is our Code Breaker Play of the Week.
Players still have their leader in play. Both players also with another unit. Koska Reeves on the side of Travis Watkins, but does not have Sentinel. Zachary Roberts with that Hellgate, but specifically with initiative here, the question for Zachary is, do you play another unit? And I think that is going to be the case.
He plays the JTL Chimera unit, which allows him to use Hellgate's ability, double it with Thrawn Leader's ability, and is immediately putting 12 advantage tokens onto the board.
And the distribution here is interesting because Travis will only have one action to deal with them. So by splitting these up, you're kind of guaranteeing that some number of them are going to get through on the following attack.
I love what's happening right now. And the fun thing is too, like, if the Hellgate isn't killed, if the Hellgate isn't defeated in this attack, the Hellgate unit then, you know, deals all that damage. If it is defeated, then it throws all the advantage tokens onto something else.
Okay, so what happened here? In case you're missing it, all of those advantage tokens went on Hellgate, right?
Yes, so all of them went on Hellgate.
So Hellgate had an enormous power.
That was 18 power.
That forced Travis to get rid of it, but in doing so, it triggered another double onto Thrawn, and it was a 28 damage swing, which just ended the game.
All right, so that play came obviously from the official FFG YouTube channel. And so if we're going to break down the play, if you didn't kind of get it from the casters, that Zach, the Thrawn player, had his leader flipped, and he had just played Hell's Gate, right? And the text on the Hell's Gate is, it's when defeated, you can distribute advantage tokens equal to that unit's power, right? So Zach goes and plays the JTL Chimera to activate the when defeated ability and gets 6 advantage tokens and puts that on the Hellgate. So the Hellgate has 12 power at the moment. It has 12 power. The Cad Bane player attacks into it, kills the Hellgate, which then lets him distribute 12 advantage tokens. But then you double that up with the Thrawn ability, so he distributes 24 advantage tokens, puts that on the Thrawn, and then the Thrawn swings for 28 and wins the game right there.
I don't think there's enough advantage tokens to put on a unit.
No.
And it's like one of those plays that that only happens on those online platforms. You're like, well, how the fuck did this happen?
But hey, it happened on stream in person to that guy.
It very rarely happens in person.
Yeah.
It's an interesting setup. But yeah, that was a crazy play for the weekend. Definitely, I think the Codebreaker Play of the Week for sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. And there'll probably be some other ones we may be able to pull from the event for future segments, because I'm sure there's plenty of other gameplays. I haven't had a chance to watch all of the streams yet, but at some point we will. So yeah, congrats on that play. That was beast. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week. I think what we're getting into PQ season, right? PQs are starting this upcoming weekend.
Yep.
There's going to be about 20 different PQs already this weekend in all of the formats, mainly Premier and Limited. I think like one Eternal. I think we'll pop up a list for the stream so they can check out. So you can check out if there's a PQ near you. There is one near us, I believe, this weekend. Is it in Dallas?
Yep, Dallas. But it's limited, right? So I was gonna skip it. We have the sector in Dallas, which is also limited. So
Yeah.
I'll just save it for then.
Yeah, well, I'm flying back on Thursday. So right now it's Tuesday, right? So Thursday I fly back at night. I'm not trying to go to Dallas on Saturday. Actually, I was going to go to the one. If I was going to travel anywhere on that Saturday, I would have went to the one in Mexico.
Okay.
But then I looked at the dates. Well, I come back Thursday night. I have to literally fly out Friday to go to Mexico. But I will be attending a PQ in Mexico on the 15th, I believe, of August. So sometime mid-August. Gonna book my flight, and we will be in Querétaro, Mexico. And
Nice.
I got a bunch of goodies and stuff for the people over there that I met last time.
Okay, cool.
Bunch of swag is going out to the players down in that PQ. Actually, I got a big bag. I don't have it here with me, but the owner of Metal Fab, B-Flow, the owner of Metal Flab, he was handing some out at this meetup that we did. And I'm like, hey, do you have a couple extra I could take to Mexico with me? He gives me a whole fucking big ass bag, like massive bag of tokens, Metal Flab tokens. So I'm going to be bringing those down as well as some of the other mats that other people in the KTOD Discord had donated to me over the weekend.
Nice.
So we got a lot of giveaways for our friends down south.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Well, hey, that's it for us this week. We'll see you back here next week with the results from this previous or what's this upcoming weekend, and that's been your update here at Holonet Weekly.
Awesome. See you next week.
Yep.